and welcome back to Cascais, Portugal, a Sunday morning here in Europe, and it is semi-final number 2 of Stop 8 on the tour. Gig Cilliers alongside Peter Mel, and another exciting encounter here. 2 natural footers, number 2 and 3 in the world. The stage is set here. One of these girls will be moving through to the final, and of course the incentive for Courtney Conlogue is to take the Jeep leaderboard yellow jersey back.
It is not the most consistent out there, so they're obviously going to have to get busy right out of the gates, which is seeming that Sally Fitzgibbons is doing right now.
Well, Sally Fitzgibbons will open her account, knife-like approach on the backhand there for the single maneuver contribution. Now it's an exchange with the second pulse coming through. Conlogue goes for a 2-stage float over the lip line. So, quick out the gates, both surfers. They don't want to see themselves struggling in the back half for wave numbers here, Peter.
Well, and I think that they're obviously watching what had happened in semifinal number 1. We've harped on it for the entire event. Is where do we sit? Where is the best spots? What is that? Who's reading the ocean the best?
All right, let's see if Conlogue on wave number 2 here, first jam in the pocket. Now you'll see she adjusts that back foot, just brings her center of gravity a little forward to keep the board on the plane.
Will definitely start to make a difference even after a half hour of tide. You'll start to see it start flooding in. Generally we like to think that brings in more consistency as we watch, say, these 2 waves here. She's getting quick, busy out here from Courtney. This morning saw her bright and early at our hotel, very relaxed. She was very free, not real serious looking and sounding, and I think that's a great place for her to be in her headspace.
Wind speed 2015 for 22. Sally.
Dodge the bullet, but we'll take it.
All right, so just trying to touch and listen to what Mike Parsons and Lakey Peterson have to say as we see Courtney Conlogue grinding out wave number 3 already here, Pete. So high work rate in these testing beach conditions here. Good strategy for Courtney Conlogue.
I was going to say, for all of these young ladies, I think that you need to just kind of start riding a ton of waves, and ultimately, hopefully, one of those special sections will come up. I mean, we've seen big scores come from one really solid move, and I think that's still the case today. So I don't think it's going to change much. If you show some commitment on one big move, they're going to give some pretty good scores here. Sally Fitzgibbons, for an example, you watch Courtney's scores that already have come in, a 3.5 and a 3.87. Sally with a significant higher score because of the commitment on her backside slam. That was it. They're looking at the quality of the turn.
Now wave number 3 checks, and let's have a look at this one, Pete.
Well, it's a nice first snap, but I think that ultimately, she's looking for trying to get a bit more quantity of turns rather than high quality, and I feel like it's going to be right in that same range of that 3.5-ish to 4-point range. Whereas the 6 here, you see, this is the turn. He gets a little bit more, or she gets a little bit more up and over. That's something that she could bring to the table that would be a bit of difference. We haven't seen much in the way of aerial antics from any of the young ladies. They have all got that in their repertoire.
All right, with now moving towards the 20-minute mark, Sally Fitzgibbons, wave number 2, and there we're talking about the progression, and she'll just wrap it through the rotation. Just not enough ride-out glide at the end of that maneuver there, Peter. But exactly as we were talking about the progression on the criteria, Sally Fitzgibbons goes and ticks that box.
The year I qualified, and if that happens again, it would just be kind of ironic and funny if I had Court in the final. But yeah, I'm super stoked, and Tati surfed great. It's really hard. The waves are not easy, and dodged a bullet at the end when I let her go on that wave. I thought for sure she had it, and then I didn't know she fell in the last turn, but yeah, super happy.
And we're waiting to see if either of our surfers can unlock a real one. Let's have a look at this replay here.
Well, this was Sally, but we also saw a similar type of wave from Courtney Conlogue. A smaller wave, but it gave her 2 opportunities. See, she gets a slash and then the vertical hit. I like Courtney's wave here substantially better. We're waiting on scores for both these waves. These are critical. It's a critical point in the heat.
Well, snapshot of the current situation now, 10.5 minutes to play. Courtney Conlogue on that last exchange, a 6.67 against Sally Fitzgibbons, 4.9. Now the requirement is now a 5.18. So setting the tone of the heat now is Courtney Conlogue with her pair of scores, a 6.67, holding what I feel is a vulnerable 4.5. She'll want to get to work on that, and she is holding that priority to increase the requirement over Fitzgibbons. Mental strategy unfolding here with now the back third of the heat, and here goes Conlogue operating with that priority. board speed, she'll go to square upper 360. Well, a re-entry rotation drive there from her. Fitzgibbons, the Australian, looking for a 5.18. Peter, this is a very, very tight affair. And here, Conlogue will make a wave choice without holding priority speed and gets a big junction turn there on that right-hander coming towards her. Single maneuver. Not sure how the judges will play that out. She could have possibly got a little bit more speed and projection through that. So let's see what numbers join her scorecard with that last ride.
Let's see here if we watch. This is the right-hander. If this is the 360 here, just a 3.007 to me, which is this move here is actually pretty unique. I mean, it's cool, but it's somewhat old school. So here's that way we were talking about. A lot of speed here, nice critical section, and just a tiny bit of a heel.
Yeah, well, 4.5 minutes now to play. Courtney Conlogue staring down the barrel of possibly a final against Lakey Peterson. Here we go. This is a big crack on the backside for Sally Fitzgibbons. We've spoke about how clean and clinical and efficient her surfing is, and she delivers a score there. Remember, requirements of a 5.31. Everything that she takes off on now must challenge that level of score.
A little bit is that she's getting a little bit more underneath her board. You know, that's where she gets that board up and over the hips and over the almost over the head. You know, that she didn't get quite the board over the head there on that one, but that little more upside down feel, I think, is a bit more critical.
Yeah, she's moving that center of gravity right over the axis of the turn, right?
And exactly. Yeah. It's those slight little differences is where you'll see the scores make a major difference. If you stay over the top of your board and you don't get the board up above your hips or above the lip, that's the degree of difficulty. That's that commitment that are all the elements of the criteria.
Well, here we go, looking and scouring out another score now. Fitzgibbons, good snap to start now, little check snap. And, well, you can see that one. There's a little language of disinterest there. She'll just ditch out on that one. She's going to keep hunting the lineup because Conlogue is holding priority and the lead here. And Sally Fitzgibbons certainly would like to be in a final and take out a win in 2015. Whoa. 3 judges lock in now and it's a 5.17. It's a decimal short.
Oh my goodness.
So 90 seconds to play here, Pete. It's tight times now. Conlogue holding the lead.
That was a 3-2 split.
Just by a margin. Here's that hunting that we spoke about. Both surfers now in the zone. Remember, first priority does belong to our surfer in red as well as the lead here. Whoa, here we go, Pete. It was a breakaway here. I think Conlogue knows that it's a smaller wave on the inside.
Impossible.
Yeah, here we go. Fitzgibbons, she'll just accept the fact that there's not a 5.31 available on that ride. And the beach commentator will count it down. And Sally Fitzgibbons will end the Cascais Women's Pro third here, Pete. So Courtney Conlogue, Lakey Peterson, that is the final that will be on deck. Wow.